I were to call out the top three, it will be the market size and opportunity, how disruptive, innovative the product or the solution is, and most importantly, how good is the founding team. Hi, this is Venkat. I am the CEO for Turbostart Global. In the context of this episode, I want to highlight my journey as an entrepreneur. You can say a serial entrepreneur. 3 startups, and as part of that, I personally have raised several rounds of money. So I do have some experience being an entrepreneur, having raised funds, and these days I spend more time as an investor on the other side of the table.
Turbostart, since its inception, has received and reviewed thousands of applications. What can you say are some of the most common mistakes that startups make when applying to a VC, and how can they be avoided?
I don't know if I want to call them mistakes, but each company has something standing out, whether it's the founding team or their depth of domain understanding or a very disruptive technology and the IP that they have. So they need to really think about where they stand out and give it prominence. Quite often they have a standard template and a lot of advice they get, oh, have this section, and they are so fixated on following the template, they lose sight of what makes them unique, and that is unfortunate.
How do you select startups for investment, and what criteria are important for potential applicants to keep in mind?
So just like most other investors look for, these are market size and opportunity. How big is it? How is the founding team? How uniquely positioned is the product? And can the team scale and realize its value, full potential, if you will? And these are criteria we look for. In addition, based on the stage of the company, the business model, unit economics, go-to-market strategy, all those things come in. But if I were to call out the top three, it will be the market size and opportunity, how disruptive, innovative the product or the solution is, and most importantly, how good is the founding team.
Pitching can be nerve-wracking for many entrepreneurs. What tips do you have for founders to effectively communicate their vision and passion during a pitch?
I would suggest they should take a deep breath and be themselves. Rather than trying to impress, come across genuine. Say what you mean, and if you truly believe in what you're pitching, I think that genuineness will come across. Quite often they have this formula, oh, I have to say this, or what upsets me is when they don't have the answer for a question, trying to give some vague responses rather than that saying, I don't know, because that level of self-awareness and humility is something I look for. Unfortunately, most founders try to come across as experts in everything, and no investor is looking for founders to be an expert in everything. So that genuineness is very, very key as entrepreneurs do the pitching.
Rejections are part of the startup journey. What feedback do you commonly provide to startups whose pitches may not have been successful initially, and how can they use this feedback to improve?
So this is a common challenge in the industry. Most investors, when they reject somebody, they don't really give the answer as to the precise reason as to why the rejection happened. They simply say, okay, you're too early for me, come back after 6 months or something, or some vague reason, if you will. My own personal experience as an entrepreneur is I learned a lot on a rejection by a customer during a sales opportunity or by an investor where they turned down my company. And I think it is very, very important to go and understand the true reasons and then internalize it for my own improvement. So at Turbostart, we are very founder friendly. Even when we reject, I think we highlight the reasons as to why we are rejecting them. Perhaps it's not necessarily wrong with the company, but it doesn't quite fit our thesis. So for example, Turbostart looks for investment opportunities along the criteria I earlier mentioned, but also one criterion is, can we make a meaningful impact in the growth of this company? If the answer is a resounding no, even if it's a great startup, we may end up rejecting it. So that's important to know.
What advice do you have for entrepreneurs to ensure their application stands out and makes a positive impression?
Again, go back and think about what makes you unique. whether it is the founding team, your product or technology, and highlight that to the maximum as much as possible to stand out against so many other applications, if you will.